Hi Siri, I'm looking for a new podcast, one that preferably is hosted by a UF Hall of Famer, one that airs every weekday that would bring me everything I need to know about the Florida Gators, including news, analysis, and opinions. Siri, is there such a show?
Have you heard of PodUp with Matthews in the morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or any podcast platform?
Oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? UF Hall of Famer Shane Matthews has a show every weekday. I'm gonna go check it out tomorrow. Thanks, Siri.
Good morning, live edition of PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the International Diamond Center Studios, locations across the state of Florida, right there at Celebration Point in the heart of Gator Nation. Go check them out. JC's going to buy his lady a new ring for Valentine's at International Diamond Center. Today's program, we'll have JC. We'll also have the head ball coach, Tim Walton.
Oh, yeah.
Lady Gator softball cranks up this weekend in Tampa in their normal tournament. They go down there and play at USF. We'll get his thoughts on the new squad. They rank anywhere from 4th in America to 7th, somewhere around there, depending on what poll you look at. Let's go to the Titan More Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Tent. We're joined by JC. Good morning.
QB,
3 days in a row for you.
I can handle it. I used to do this 5 days in a row with you, QB, and then COVID hit, and we went into budgetary mode. QB, why do they wrap these things up to make it literally impossible to open the damn thing?
I want to be safe, JC. People be putting.
I mean, my God, it's like I am fighting this damn thing to try to get it open. At any rate, I watched you and the great Buddy Martin yesterday, and he gave us a good stat before I went on with Win with JC, and that was that the underdog in the Super Bowl is 5-0 the last 5 years, and I did not know that. But we mentioned that as well yesterday morning, and also on Win with JC, you were told to take the Vols over Ole Miss in a rout. You were told to take UConn over Xavier in a rout and with the first half in a rout. And then, of course, you lost with the Texas Longhorns. I said we would go 2-1, 3-1. That's exactly what happened. Tonight, I think Texas A&M getting 7.5 at Alabama is the play for me. So we talked about the Super Bowl, QB, but I got to go to something that you and Buddy talked about yesterday as it related to Gator bait. Okay, Gator bait. And I was in the Bahamas, and we had a conversation I did with a guy at the Plato's bar, and he basically said, he's a Gator fan, and really he says the key to Florida going forward from here on, because of the faceless head coach and bum they had for the last 4 years, is to regain their identity. Gator bait is part of that identity. The big alligator at the opening of the game that goes like that when the Gators come out is part of the identity. And I believe that to be the case. And I think until that happens, Florida is a basketball school. So we want to get back to being a football school, QB, and maybe continue to be a basketball school and a softball school, because we're going to hear from the great Tim Walton here in about 25 minutes. So I agree with that. His assessment was exactly right. Gator bait has to be a part of it. The identity of Florida football has to return, and this coach is going to be the guy that does it because of the sleepy guy we had last time. I don't know if he's got anything
to do with the Gator bait deal, though.
Well, it's about regaining that identity and that kind of thing.
The people in charge over there need to just say, you know what?
Yeah.
This is what we're doing.
This is what we're doing.
It's simple. It's simple.
Damn the torpedoes, fire away. This is how it's going to be. You either like it or you get off the boat, and then we'll pick you up on the bandwagon because they're going to win. What'd we say? 8 games at minimum next year, QB? You said that. We said that. So we'll go with that. We're going to go with that, QB. We have to go with something.
Text on the Titan More text line. Speaking of golf, this is Gator Pop says Chandler Blanchett, born in Gainesville, learned to play golf at Meadowbrook and Gainesville Club. Earned his PGA. I'm sorry. Earned to pay his PGA card, finished 1 stroke from making the cut at Farmer. Yeah, he went to high school with my daughter. I know Chandler very well.
Bobcat.
Yeah,
as does my son Jack. He knows Chandler Blanchett, and we went to. I went to a wedding that his wife had a friend who got married. Her name was Malloy, and I met Chandler. And this was when he was just starting on the Corn Ferry, and he hadn't won anything yet. but we knew the talent was there. He's the kind of guy that at one point in his career, it seemed like he would either birdie or double bogey every hole. There were no pars on the card. He had incredible ball striking ability, and he can score with the best of them, but he can also get into big trouble. And I think he's learned how to deal with getting into trouble, what to do when you are in trouble or not getting into trouble, or basically not making two mistakes when you've already made one. So that's how I think his game seemed to evolve, at least because I've been following him, and it's great to see him on the PGA Tour with his tour card, and hopefully he'll make some cuts and make some money.
That's right. Jamie says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon, make Gator bait great again.
Hell yes. I mean, let's get that identity, and that is part of it. And either you like it or you don't. And it doesn't matter why do some people in the minority get a say on what happens with what the majority wants? This shouldn't work that way in America. And right now, I think Florida football is in the process of trying to reestablish that identity. And I think that's what's going to happen. And that's what's going to happen with this new head coach.
Yeah. We're going to do our golf picks here in a few minutes, but I saw this stat yesterday, JC, and I had a screenshot and I had to bring it up today because I was blown away.
Yep.
Justin Rose last week hit 59 of 72 greens in regulation at the Torrey Pines. Okay.
Unbelievable.
But that's not a record for the most greens hit in a 72-hole event.
Okay.
Peter Jacobson at the 1995 AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, which Pebble Beach has the smallest greens probably of any golf course around.
Yeah.
Especially on tour.
Yes.
He hit 69 of 72 greens.
Wow. 69 out of 72. So he only missed 3. And
the smallest greens on tour.
Yeah. And if he played so Pebble Beach, it's on the beach, it's windy. Does that include Poppy Hills and Spyglass or whatever else he played? I guess it did. Unless they played that Pebble Beach course all 4 days, which I guess.
Regardless,
it's unbelievable.
You could go play West End. And I don't think you could hit 69 out of 72 greens.
We had trouble hitting 15 of the
I'm saying that is
that's
one of the greatest stats I've ever seen.
The Great West End Golf Course. Now it's a damn
park,
dog park where you walk your dog because you can't walk it in your neighborhood. You take it out to the dog park with the county spending $4 million for you to walk your dog. Great use of that land. Outstanding decision, whoever made that. And I tell you, what else do we need in this town now that we have a $4 million dog park where you can
Dan
walk?
says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law, did only Gators get out alive?
No.
Feelings? Please give me a break. JC, I should put you in charge of bringing the Gator bait back.
I mean,
you and Buddy, y'all can go pick it. Put up signs on the corner.
I'm 1,000% behind Buddy on this, and I usually am behind Buddy on most things he says because I really like him. But the thing is that has to be a part of what is a part of Gator football. Otherwise, it's like my friend said, we're a basketball school here in Gainesville, and there's nothing wrong with that. But shit, Indiana used to be a basketball school. They're a football school now. And, Indiana hadn't won anything in basketball since the late 70s. Hell, Notre Dame won a football championship more recently than Indiana ever won a basketball championship, and they want to call themselves a basketball school? No, sir, they're a football school. Florida needs to be a football school again because currently it is a basketball and softball school. I mean, so I don't know. I want Florida to be a football school again, and I think most people do as well. But you can be both, and so let's see if that happens. I believe it to be the case. I think it will.
Toby says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, Walter Clayton Jr. got traded to the Grizzlies. Yep, he sure did. I can't watch the NBA until
I can't watch it either. It's just not entertainment to me. I'd rather watch hockey. So
This Day in Sports brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union, where proud member Stephen Orr Spurrier banks. 1876, JC.
Oh yeah.
Albert Spalding invested $800 to start a sporting goods company manufacturing the first official baseball, tennis ball, basketball, golf ball, and football.
Wow. Okay.
Spalding. So I think out of all those balls that old Albert manufactured for $800 in 1876, I think Spalding only does footballs, and they do basketballs as well, but their footballs ain't very good.
What did you play
Wilson
with?
makes the best
Wilson.
football.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't it Wilson that you play with in the league? Yeah.
Yeah, Wilson's clearly the best football. I don't know why colleges don't. Some colleges use it. Coach Spurrier made sure whatever team he was coaching, we used the Wilson football.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these schools, if they have a Nike contract or Under Armour contract or an Adidas contract, they want you to use their football.
Mm-hmm.
Those footballs are terrible compared to Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson makes the best.
I can tell you right now, if I was playing for the Gators, there's no way in hell I'd play with that Nike football. I would do everything I possibly could to say we need to play with the Wilson.
You are all over Nike's rear end, but there you are with Michael Jordan on that little sweatshirt.
The reason I wore this today,
I mean, whatever,
is in honor of the basketball team. Okay. I'm not a Nike fan.
Oh, wait, I see the Gator. So my little screen here. Okay, there you go. Yeah, there you go. This is my Gator.
Equipment guys gave me this.
Well, I mean,
2 years ago, and I think this is the first time I've worn it.
Somebody wants to know if you got that in Billy Napier's yard sale.
I may have.
You may have. By the way, I did get.
No, I don't buy anything with the Gator on it.
I got the wrapper off the top. Just so you know, you've been thinking about that. I finally got the damn wrapper off the top. I love this Rockin' Protein from Shamrock Farms. I love that.
JC,
it's so good.
Brent's got a great idea, and I want
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Implement this.
Shane
on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. He says maybe we can put our money together and put a banner behind one of the planes on game day. That would be great.
I mean, why not? It's free country. I think it's still a free. Is it still a free country? Anyway, I do think that is a great idea, QB. Just where do we get pricing on that? I guess I can call the airport and find out.
Call your buddy at the airport.
Yeah, I can call my. I have.
It's a very simple solution. We need to get the band director on and just tell him to play it.
Just play it, yeah. Because somebody yesterday mentioned like what would happen if 40, 50,000 fans just start screaming it nonstop. What are you going to do? Empty the stadium?
There's nothing you can do about that, but the band's what makes it.
I agree. I agree. And when the other team runs out, that's what you scream. You scream Gator bait at them because that's what they are. They're going to get fed to the alligator. So, let's hope that happens. But that's the way to go. That's the way to go. Brent wants me to make it happen. I like this Brent English 2007. He makes me laugh. I like Barone as well. He's one of my favorite here on YouTube. I only look at YouTube. I like all these guys that come in every single day and support our show. And I think it's
so. JC, text from even Gator Josh and Wild Mom on the Titan.
Oh, I like Gator Josh too.
He sent a screenshot. Did you see how much money in debt the semis are?
Oh, what a disaster. So poorly run. Such just a disaster.
$437 million.
It's a disaster. It's an
debt.
Absolute disaster. Well, I think most of that's from the stadium renovation. But it's hard to understand.
It says Florida State has reported $437 million in athletics in debt. 71% of it came from athletics. Well, that doesn't make much sense if it tells me that $437 million in athletics. Whatever. I don't know.
Well,
they got problems.
They got problems, and that's why they hate the ACC because they don't feel like they're getting paid the same amount as their rivals, like Florida and the SEC and schools like this. And that's why they tried to get out. They didn't like the money deal. Unfortunately, they didn't have the money to get out. There was no chance in hell they were going to be able to buy back those media rights. And I don't know why we ever talked about it with them in Clemson. It was a stupid conversation. There was zero chance either one of those schools were going to get let out and get their media rights back without paying just an obscene amount of money that they just don't have. And that's why I think what LSU has done with Kiffin, they're basically, if he doesn't win, they're going to go belly up too, because they've just basically sold the farm. They've sold the farm for everything that this guy's going to be demanding now. So they better beat Alabama, and they better go 12-0, and they better win. Otherwise, the money's going to dry up because there isn't much in Louisiana. Don't kid yourself. That place is a poor state. So, Florida State, poorly run, badly managed. They're stuck with a coach they don't like. They're stuck in a conference they don't like. They don't win anything. And then the year they do win games, they lose their quarterback in a meaningless, ridiculous game against, I think it was South Alabama or somebody like that. So that was Jordan Travis. So it's a tough run right now for Florida State. They have no identity in basketball. They have no spring sports that are worth a damn. Maybe they're good in softball, maybe. But that's about it. Baseball does fairly well, I think, but it's not a moneymaker. They're losing money everywhere. So Good luck, guys.
Tommy in Savannah is wanting to donate, I think, for the plane.
I love it, Tom. Hey, Tom. Okay, we'll get this thing done. QB, I've got a little money.
JC, you have nothing else to do, JC. I think you need to be behind this whole thing.
Nothing else to do.
Nothing. Mike on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, Shane or JC, do y'all know the history behind the Work 'em Silly Gators banner that is hung in the stadium?
I love that thing.
Believe it or not, I want to say that is one of our listeners in Savannah is the one that started that.
That could be. I love that thing. That's one of my favorite things, that blanket over the wall. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That really is one of my favorite things. I like the big drum that they roll out there. I love the 2-bits thing. I love orange and blue. But we got to get Gator Bait back, and we got to have that big alligator close his mouth as soon as the team runs out through the band, and with the music and the loudspeakers. And then the band plays the fight song, and they march down, and it's so great to see the band do the chomp thing on the field. I love it. I love it all. But I just wish they would win, and that comes with hopefully this new coach, since we finally got that loser out of town. So it costs $49 million, but hey, whatever, right? We'll get that back. In one hand and out the other, right, QB?
Yeah, it's not your money, so why does it matter, JC?
Sure as hell isn't my money. That is a fact. I would hate it if it were. But, I don't know. Kanye Ron wants me to get DraftKings to sponsor the banner. I get that, Kanye Ron. We're killing it in golf. We killed it in basketball last night. We killed it last week in the Bahamas on basketball. I mean, it's just, I guess you're right, QB. I should retire and just do this for a living. I mean, what the hell?
I think it'd be a great idea.
Oh boy.
We got a text here on the Titan Tomorrow text line. Shane, what are your thoughts on Mensa? Darian Mensa. I think he's a pretty good player.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. He'll be down at Miami next year.
Yeah, they hooked him out of Duke. Yeah, they sure did. Don't feel sorry for Duke. They're going to be in the Final Four this year. I got them, Arizona.
They have a chance, but
I mean, I think they win the ACC. I think Arizona is going to roll through the Big 12. UConn will win the Big East, no question. St. John's is good, but they're not as good as UConn. And Florida's going to win the SEC. So there you go. UConn, Arizona, Florida, Duke. UConn, Arizona, Florida, Duke. There's my Final Four. Go get some futures on those, QB.
Okay, that's the way to go out on a limb, JC.
Oh, well, I mean, I just told you. I don't see anyone competitive with UConn in that conference. Nobody in the ACC is going to beat Duke, I don't think. And Arizona is just, that's a pro team out there. So forget about it. And then the Gators, I think, are clearly the class of the SEC. So far, that has been the case. Doesn't mean it'll finish that way. I do believe it to be the case, though. They're just getting better with their defense and their big guys. Nobody can match up the front court. Nobody. I mean, you can get Chris Harry on here for an hour and a half, and he'll tell you all you need to know. But the only thing that matters is that nobody can match up with the front court of Florida in this league. Period. End of story. Case closed. It's a done deal. They're going to Sweet 16, and then anything can happen, right? You throw the dice against the wall and hope. But really, I think they are the class of the league. I guess I'm really not going out on a limb, but to me, it's a foregone conclusion now. I hope I'm not jinxing them. Michigan, Franklin, you're right. They're very good in the Big Ten. I left out Michigan. We can't have a Final Five, so Michigan out of the Big Ten could do it. But that's a very competitive league. I saw them lose to Wisconsin, but I saw them beat everyone else. Nebraska is extremely competitive in the Big Ten. Big Ten's a great conference in basketball. What else is new? But I can only give you 4. So I'm putting Michigan out, and I'm putting Arizona, Duke, UConn, and Florida in. There you go. But Franklin, that was very good of you. Michigan is quite damn good, and
they're very good.
They're very good. Yeah.
Art on YouTube,
that conference is good.
Plum says, "Do you think the basketball team is good enough to win back to back?" I do.
Hell yeah, so. Yeah.
Again, whatever you want to take the stats, whatever they're worth, going into the Alabama game, and now the stats have to be even better, both offensively and defensively. Mm-hmm. We were better offensively and defensively from an efficient standpoint. Those percentage points, all those crazy stats. than last year's team.
Well, and if these guys can figure out the 3-point shooting and get those percentages even higher, forget it. Because there is no chance you beat the Gators if they hit their threes, just because of how that's going to open up the defense, and the big guys down under are going to have uncontested shots. So basically, because if Florida starts hitting those threes behind the arc, it's just going to really screw up the defense. And watch out if that happens. They're going to destroy people.
Monty in Virginia wants me to ask JC this on the Titan More text line.
Virginia, all right.
Lynchburg, Virginia.
Oh, cool.
In all the NFL games this past year, what percentage of favored teams beat the spread?
I'm going to say, without knowing off the top of my head, 53%.
Well, he didn't give me the answer. So
oh, okay. So I could be wrong about that, but I think it was just above 50. It was a tough year to take dogs and favorites. But I definitely believe that in basketball, we're seeing really these spreads widen. And that's because of, I think, the variance in good teams, great teams, and really just average to poor teams. So, it's going to be hard for these odds makers to keep these numbers tight because of how much better some of the good teams are, I think, in basketball than the average or not so good teams. So we'll see. I mean, for right now, it's still only February, and there's a lot of basketball to play. But a month from now is not that far away, and that's when we're going to start talking about tournaments and seedings and where's somebody going to go and this and that. We have Kanye Ron saying that bracketology has Florida as a 3 seed in the Tampa pod. If the Gators get to play in Tampa, there you go. There's 10,000 fans for you to root.
All right, JC, we got to get to our Peachland Dental golf
golf.
Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte and surrounding areas. Go visit them at Peachland Dental.
Oh, by the way, Peachland Dental and I played together. The wonderful Joe Lawson, who owns the dentist practice in Punta Gorda. Man, the arthritis just ravaged his body on the third day of golf, and he struggled. But, man, it was great to play with him. We all kind of struggled on the third day. Wind was blowing a sustained 20 to 30 miles an hour. But I placed all 3 days, made money. And Joe was on that team. And he is a really dear friend. Him and his lovely companion there, Jess, and then, of course, their friends Billy and Ashley. Love all of them. These guys down in Punta Gorda are great. They're Gator fans, true Florida fans. They love Florida.
JC, I think they're Gator golf boosters. Are you?
I'm getting there. I'll get there. I'll get there. I'm getting there. Is it?
By the way, the men's golf team won their first event.
I mean, what else is that? So I forgot. Florida is a softball, a basketball, and a golf school. There you go. I can't forget the glorious golf team, J.C. Deacon, who's a Toronto Maple Leafs fan in hockey. By the way, they beat somebody last night. All right, Phoenix Open. This is the fun tournament where they have the stadium setting there on the par 3 16th hole where everybody goes batshit, and it's funny and it's fun to watch. The cups go flying out, and if there's a hole in one, watch out. It'll take 25 minutes to 30 minutes to just clean up the whole green. People just lose their minds. This is going to be a tournament that you'll see Scotty Scheffler playing since his last win at La Costa. He took the week off last week, and he's now back at the Waste Management.
You're not eligible. You can't pick him.
I know. I can't pick him. I get it. I'm fine. But, man, we've been doing very well with the golf, so let's try to keep it going. And I'm going to start us off, QB, with Wyndham Clark. I'm going to go with Wyndham Clark at the Waste Management. I think
I will go with
JC, Wyndham Clark.
Give me Ben Griffin.
Very good pick. I will go with, on my second pick, I think this guy is going to have a good tournament. He's not one we talk about that often. He's a Canadian. His name is Nick Taylor. I'm going with Nick Taylor. Yep.
Give me Koepka. His ball striking was incredible last week. Mm-hmm. His putting was worse than any player I've ever watched. Hopefully he gets it right this week.
And he's just kind of getting tuned up for Augusta. That's his focus, I think, and as he blends back into the PGA Tour. I'm going to take a Georgia Bulldog from Austria. Who is that, QB?
That'd be Sepp Straka.
Very good. I'm taking Sepp Straka. He'll light up this place.
I like Sepp Straka in this tournament.
Yep.
Give me the Oklahoma Sooner Gator Up.
Oh, that was going to be my next pick. Well, he's a great player. He's already won this year on tour. It's just really just spilled on the scene last year out of nowhere and has done wonderful things on tour. He's a winner, and he was good at the Ryder Cup as well. I want to take Gary Woodland, but I'm actually going to try to find a winner here. Gary could be a top 10 finish type of guy if you want to bet it that way. Max Homa, Keith Mitchell, these guys, Morikawa, Matsuyama, all top 20 type guys. But I'm going to take Xander Schauffele to try to really do something special here.
He was terrible last week.
I know, and I this is a long shot. It's a long shot, but we'll see if he can get the game right.
4?
Just 4, yeah.
All right, I got my last pick. I'm going to take Siwoo.
Yeah, you always have to have your Korean player.
Siwoo Kim is playing good golf.
Playing great golf. He's back for sure, no question about it. There are so many good opportunities here to pick, but we only get to do 4. So I have Wyndham Clark, Nick Taylor, Sepp Struck, and Xander Schauffele. You've got Griffin, Brooks Koepka, Chris Gotterup, and former TPC champion Siwoo Kim. That's your Peachland Dental Golf Picks contest. And we've been really good this year so far.
Text from Chris Amayak on the Titan Mark text line says JC is snubbing track and gymnastics.
Damn, you're right. Well, I mean, how many?
He basically said we dominate all sports except football.
Well, let's just say we're a spring sports school, but but I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just nobody, outside of Gainesville cares, but that's fine. We'll do that. We'll be that school, and until they get the Gator bait thing back and they get their identity back, and this coach gets some wins back, and we win at home like they used to, then we'll be back to a football school. But right now, it's clearly basketball. It's clearly basketball. I mean, they're national champions, dude. They've already gone back-to-back once. They've done it before. They won it last year. That's 3 championships, man. This is not Kentucky's league anymore. Forget about it. That's not the case. That is not the case. It is Florida's league, and Florida is the basketball preeminent program in the South, not just in the Southeast. It's in the whole South and southern part of the country. And I think it's going to be Florida, Duke, UConn, and Arizona in the Final Four. I'll stick with that. I think Michigan's going to be very good and tough to beat, but they'll lose. So I'm going to write this down, QB. Today is February the 3rd, 2026. Florida, Duke, Arizona, and UConn. They'll all be in different regionals, and they will all win their regional, and they will go to the Final Four. There you have it. You like it?
I love it.
Okay.
Where is the Final Four this year? Is it in
I want to say
Indianapolis?
I want to say it's in the lovely city of Indianapolis, which is a great place for all of these types of things. Centrally located, great airport, great city to party in, great facilities, dome stadium. You don't have to worry about the elements. Everything's great in Indianapolis. That should be a place where they play the national championship too. I think that's going to be coming up soon. I think Indianapolis it kind of reminds me of Dallas. It gives you the same access with the airports and the hotels and the great places to go eat. And it gives you centralized location. It's fair. The Super Bowl being out in Santa Clara, that kind of sucks, right? But I think the Super Bowl sucks this year. But I'm taking Seattle -4.5. I've got on Friday for you guys, I've got so many good stats and things that I'm going to repeat from yesterday's Win with JC segment that I think will help you with props. It will give you some confidence maybe in taking some of these props and why you want to take these props. And right now, my favorite bet, just to lead into it, is Kenneth Walker over 21.5 receiving yards. You can ladder that up to 25, to 26, to 30. It doesn't matter. He's going to catch a lot of balls. Because Seattle does not have Charbonnet. He's out, obviously. So Helani and Kenneth Walker are going to see the ball a lot, I think, in the Super Bowl. And we'll touch more on this on Friday.
Good stuff, JC. We'll talk to you on Friday.
All right, brother.
That's JC. Join us on the Titan More Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. Quick timeout. Come back. We'll talk a little Gator softball with the head coach, the Hall of Famer, Tim Walton. You're watching and listening to PodUp Matthews in the Morning from the International Diamond Center Studios. We'll be right back.
Our premium sponsors are Atlantic Roofing, Campus USA Credit Union, International Diamond Center, J.F. Hayden's Craft Liqueurs, Los Linderos Tequila, Meldon Law, Titan MRI and Imaging, Castaway Sauce, UF Health Orthopedics. Gridiron sponsors are Baker Sports, Comfort Temp, Florida Cracker Oyster, Electronics World, Gallo Car Wash, Miapa Latin Cafe, Peachland Dental, Quality Plumbing, Ruse Ogre State Farm, Silverback Concrete, 84 Lumber, Big Mills Cheesesteaks, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Gator Dominoes, Ironwood Golf Course, McDonald's of Gainesville, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, UF Bookstores, Advocare, MG&A Wealth. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And to advertise, call my man Freddie, 352-284-3733.
Naysayers. Setbacks. Injuries. Life throws a lot of hurdles your way. The key is just keep jumping them.
Coach, you know, it always impressed me how you beat Florida State to win the 1996 National Championship.
And I was really impressed with your 06, 08, and 09 Gator teams.
And the way you coached Danny to the Heisman Trophy.
A lot like what you did with Tim Tebow.
You know, you won more SEC championships than you lost home games at the Swamp.
And you had plenty of super games in front of our Gator Nation.
Yeah, there really is something special about the Swamp.
I guess that's why we say about the Swamp, only the Gators get out alive.
To the Swamp and the Gators, with the best beverage served at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, 100% agave, Los Landeros tequila, aged in bourbon barrels for a smoother taste.
I think you mean Head Beer Coach 1966 lager, a crisp, light, bodied lager for easy drinking.
Nope. Los Landeros tequila, smooth enough to drink neat and bold enough to elevate a cocktail.
1966 lager, enjoyed on game days in the fall or whenever you need a winning cold brew.
Los Landeros tequila.
1966 lager.
Los Landeros.
1966 lager.
Y'all stop bickering.
Okay, you're both wrong anyway. The best thing Spurrier's Gridiron Grill offers are Jerry's famous chocolate chip cookies.
Welcome back to the International Diamond Center Studios. Gallo Car Wash is locally owned by UF alum and the only car wash that provides NIL opportunities to Gator athletes. Locations on Northwest 13th Street, Wilson Road, and coming soon to Jonesville. Let's go back to the Titan Hour Hotline. We are joined by the Hall of Famer. His 21st year as the Gator softball coach, Tim Walton. 21 years, Coach. You're getting old, my man.
It's crazy. I'm catching up to you, Shane.
I know. All right, let's you crank it up this weekend, your normal tournament down there at USF. Tell us about the roster. Okay, we know you lost, some really good All-Americans, Reagan Walsh, Corby Otis, Kendra Falvey, but you bring back three really good players and Shoemaker, Keegan Rothrock, and obviously Jocelyn Erickson. Tell us a little bit about the newcomers that a lot of people may not know about right now.
Yeah, those three obviously will kind of, as our season goes, will depend on those three. Ava Brown, obviously returning to, is a glue between offense and defense and hitting. Will have a much larger role on defense this year for us. But yeah, the newcomers for us, we'll start with Kendall Grover. She'll bat in the middle of our lineup. She's a senior transfer. Another very heavy relied player will be Kenley Cahalan, even though she's returning for us. Madison Walker, Ella Wesolowski, though with Kendall Grover and those two, those are our three transfers that we're expecting to play a heavy role. Madison and Ella will probably pivot back and forth between DP and and everyday starters, kind of depending on the health and of our team and the overall part of that. But those are probably the heaviest new players that we'll rely on. Townsend Thomas last year redshirted, so she's a redshirt freshman. She'll bat at the top for us. And then another player that had injured her freshman year, didn't play a ton last year, Cassidy McClellan. I'd star right now, Townsend Cassidy, and Kendall Grover. Those are kind of going to be the what do we say? Those the picks to click. If they click, we're going to be we're going to be pretty good. It'll really stretch the lineup out, and our run expectancy is going to go up through the roof.
Dan's question for you on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon Law. Is there a concern with the outfield depth, or will some of the utility players slide over to play those positions?
I'm a lot like you, Shane. Thanks for that question, Dan. I'm a lot like you. Like, I'm a pretty straight shooter. Yesterday was probably one of the worst practices I've been a part of in a long, long time. Not because we weren't playing very well, but we got an inside pitch, hit a batter. She was out for the rest of practice. We had a girl, do something else. She was out for the rest of practice. We had a girl slide into second. She's out for the rest of practice. So yes, there's a heavy concern for me of our depth, not just in the outfield, but really at every spot. We're not super deep, although I've got a bunch of Swiss Army knives. I got a lot of players that can play a lot of positions. So we only go 3 natural outfielders, but I have 6 people that can play outfield. So not ideal. I think right now the biggest thing is just going to be our outfield speed. Can we hit in more runs from the outfield than we give up? I mean, that's where we're at right now. With just having 3 players that are all good outfielders. They're just not Kendra Falby, Corby Otis, and you're not going to replace those kind of players very often.
Andy's question for you on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon Law. It's great to see that you added Kendra Falby to your staff. How does that fit in with her pro career?
Yeah, so it's exactly fits in with her pro career. So it's an opportunity for her to kind of bridge the gap between, being a college athlete and a pro athlete. So she trains with us every single day. She's out, taking fly balls, hitting, bunting, doing her thing to stay in shape, get herself ready to go. So it's a real huge advantage for us to have somebody of that caliber out there with us every single day. And then for her, she's getting, basically free training to go and get ready to play in her Athletes Unlimited season with the Cascade.
All right, let's talk about the girls in the circle, or the ladies in the circle.
We need some women in the circle, Shane. We need some. There we go.
Bad. That's right. So you got Rothrock coming back. We know she had some injury issues last year. How does she look so far? You got Red Oxley. You got the #1 pitcher, or maybe the player in America, who's an early enrollee. I don't know if you've ever had an early enrollee, because I think people don't realize she comes from the state of Georgia, where they play their high school games in the fall, which makes no sense to me. So talk about her, Caroline Stanton. Have you ever had anybody early enroll?
We have. Yeah, we've had a few. I think this is our 5th early enrollee since I've been here. And all of those players have played a role, at some point in time with our roster. So it's unique. There's only 5 states in the country that play in the fall. We have Colorado, Nebraska, Georgia, Missouri, and Oklahoma. Those states play in the fall. They play fall softball. Iowa plays in the summer, and everybody else plays in the spring. So it is unique. But with her, she graduated in December, so she's already done with school. She won a state championship in November, so she's already done with her competition. She came off of a heavy summer last summer, where she ended up losing in the Alliance Championship, which is, we have 2 championships. That was one of them. She lost in the finals. So she's really done pretty much everything she needed to do in her high school career. And so it was her family's idea. And I just said, listen, if you're going to do it, we got a red shirt, because you're coming off a heavy back-to-back-to-back. This will be, I don't want to put you, #1 at injury risk. And #2, next year's group coming in, it really, obviously young, but really good. We got some really good players. And I just don't want to lose that stretch where I think we've got a chance to, again, compete for SEC or even national championships at the College World Series. So I didn't want to impact that by just, I told her at some point in time, you're going to be the dugout going, man, I could get out there and pitch. I could win today. And I said, you can, but we don't need you to win today. We need you to win tomorrow and the next year, and the next year. So I think it really helps us training her, putting together a really good plan for her to continue her growth.
Yeah, it's interesting. Somebody was asking, could she play in a few games and still redshirt? It's not like football where you can play in 4 games. It's like in basketball. Once you enter the game, it doesn't matter if it's for 30 seconds, you're done. You cannot redshirt.
Correct.
Joseph's question for you on Facebook Live brought to you by Mel Law. Coach, obviously you want players that have both, but for younger players, do you think it's more important for them to focus on being great in the field or at the plate?
Yeah, I mean, this is an offensive game. Every single sport's turning into offense. Baseball offense, basketball offense, football offense. So for us, it's no different. Offense. You hit. We always have a saying: you hit, we find a position for you. And so I think the offense is the key. Very rarely do you get somebody who's just so talented on the defensive side and the offensive side. Who can run, who can hit, who can bunt. So I would say more importantly, spend more time on the defense. The two skills for us when I recruit and evaluate, the two skills that are probably the worst two skills are throwing and running. They're the hardest to train, and it's kind of like you kind of are what you are when you're born with throws and with your gait and your athleticism. So to me, offense is the ticket. It's the easiest. It's the easiest to get noticed unless you're a catcher or a shortstop more than mainly catcher, but even a shortstop.
Todd's question on Facebook Live brought to you by Mel Law. Coach Walton, are you seeing 20 to 30% turnover with softball rosters each year, like with football, or is it trending less?
No, I mean, I think if you look at our roster last year, we had 20 players and 4 transfers. So, I think it's pretty close to the same turnover, which isn't uncommon. For the most, we're just starting to see things a little bit differently. We're every single sport is seeing the same effects, whether it's playing time, marketability, financial reasons, all competing for championships. It's all the same. Obviously, we just have a smaller roster, so maybe less noticeable.
My question, obviously, SEC, it's a grind week in and week out. Once you get into conference play, I mean, pretty much everybody's ranked in the top 25 in the league. Is there one team that maybe be really improved that we're not used to seeing out of the Southeastern Conference? I mean, Texas is your defending national champs. They're going to be in the mix. We know Oklahoma's going to be in the mix. Y'all are going to be in the Gators are going to be in the mix. But is there somebody that's kind of just hovering down that has never been any good, that added a bunch of transfers that could be possibly good this year?
Well, I don't know that anybody in our league has never really been good. But I think you look at obviously what Ole Miss did last year, and they made it to their first College World Series. Arkansas has not been to the College World Series ever, but they've knocked on the door through super regionals a million times and won the SEC. Texas A&M last year was the number 1 seed going into the tournament and got knocked off, but they're really talented. I don't know that we have. I think probably the two biggest, if you were an outsider from the SEC, the two biggest surprises last year probably would have been Ole Miss, and then South Carolina. They're 1 out away from the College World Series, and so those two teams probably have had the biggest rise to maybe surprise outside of the league. But they hired a new coach at South Carolina, an alum. She's done a really good job in Ashley Chastain, and so every team in our league, and we said it last year, and sure enough, Ole Miss proved everyone right that any and every team in our league could make it to the College World Series. It's that deep.
Miapalag Cafe, we love Gator basketball so much. Everyone at the O-Dome gets a free empanada when the opposing team misses 2 consecutive free throws in the second half. A few more minutes with Coach Tim Walton here. Conyer Ron on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, are there any super teams outside the SEC? Texas Tech?
I mean, that's probably the only super team right now, and aren't they doing that in every sport? I mean, they've got super teams in every sport. So I'd say Texas Tech. They're probably they probably invested the most in their athletic programs, but in softball specifically. I can't. There's some other teams that that you go, okay, they've got some really, really good depth, the typical UCLA, but Nebraska was I think one inning away from going to the College World Series last year. I think that I would say, Texas Tech's probably the easiest one to notice, but Nebraska may surprise people that don't pay attention to softball a lot. That they're pretty deep and pretty good too.
Williams, question for you on the Titan Amar text line. Where do you rank Taylor Shoemaker as a Gator softball player? I know she's only played 1 year, but how great can she be?
Yeah, gosh, I mean that's all. You don't want to do the ultimate jinx on a person, right? She's only played one season, but she has the makeup of all the great ones that we've had, and by great ones I mean Francesca Anea, Amanda Lorenz, Michelle Moultrie, Kelsey Stewart, Asia Pakuba, those kind of guys. So for me. She's got the work ethic. She's got the makeup. I mean, if you ask me what sets her apart from everybody last year, her ability to get her body in an awkward position and still deliver a home run, a double, hit the ball hard, velocity of the ball coming off the bat. She has amazing bat control. She's super athletic. She's super long, and she can really hit. And so for somebody of that size to create that kind of power just tells you how much body control she has. So to rank her, too early to say. If her career was over today, she'd be absolutely one of the top 3 players to ever play in our program.
Dan's question on Facebook Live: any road trips you're looking forward to? And I guess I'll piggyback on that. Where, when you're a really good team and you play other good teams week in and week out in your conference, there's usually some place you love to go to because of their crowd, and you love to walk out of there winning that series. Is there one particular venue you like to go to?
No, not one of them. I don't. I mean, I won't lie that the best shower that you could possibly take is a road wind shower, and they usually in the football visiting locker room, or the football or the basketball visiting locker room. Those are awesome because you just, it's hard to win on the road. But I don't typically enjoy the only road trip the only road trip I've ever taken in my career, Shane, as a coach for football, was with you when we went to Alabama in 2009. I don't even enjoy going road football games because crowds and people just say what they want to say to visitors. So I don't typically enjoy the road just because it's hard. I always joke too, and most people don't recognize this, but when I take my team on the road, it's typically going to be a record-setting crowd at every place we play. And so I always joke it's like taking the Beatles on the road sometimes. The post games. I do enjoy seeing little kids with their parents or their families on the road waiting to sign autographs or waiting to get their autographs signed by our players. That's one of the coolest and the most special feeling as a coach, to know that you built a program where younger people, even older people, just can't wait to meet your team. That's when you know you're doing it right.
Yeah. Have we played at OU since they've joined the conference?
We have not. We go there next year.
All right, that's going to be kind of cool for you to go back there, though, right?
Yeah. I took my first ever head coaching job, my first ever regional appearance in 2005. We went to OU, and it was good. It was fun. It was obviously a different experience, but yeah, it's going to be a good homecoming. For some place I haven't coached before.
Yeah. All right. Last thing before we get you out of here, your oldest son, Brooks, is on your staff. How is that, having him on your staff and seeing him on a daily basis?
It's good. Yeah, no, and I give him projects and things. So everything that we do analytically translates from baseball to softball. So whether it be bat speed, whether it be ball exit speed, pitch breaks, obviously our pitches are different, but getting someone vertically and horizontally to break pitches is the same in baseball and softball. So he's got the experience, past probably 5 years of it. Now he's at the 5 years of experience with that kind of technology. And so it helps a lot. But it's good. Yeah, it's good. The only thing he's lacking is just the on-field experience, and he's going to get some of that this summer. He's going to go on the baseball side. He's going to be kind of like the bullpen coach in the Northwoods League, a collegiate league. So he's going to gain some experience, but still do some of that, the data and analytics. But you ask about Brooks, and we're all really connected. My whole family, obviously, my daughter working for JC at golf. But my youngest son, Palmer, over at Santa Fe with John Ritzdorf's team and what they've done this year, that's probably the most fun. And that's the only downside of my job getting ready to start our season, is I don't get to continue. They played 21 games this year, and I've seen 20 of them. I've been to all the road games except for one because of practice. But that's probably the most fun thing I get to do every week, is go watch the Santa Fe Saints basketball team play basketball.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. A great family. And Coach, good luck this week. Hopefully everybody stays healthy, not just this week, but the entire season. It should be fun, no doubt about it. Appreciate your time.
No, thanks for having me on, Shane, and thanks to everybody who asked the questions sent in. Appreciate you guys. Go Gators.
Yep, that is Coach Tim Walton, the Hall of Famer, in his 21st year as the Gator softball coach. Join us on the Titan Tomorrow hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. Castaway Hot Sauce Company, from mile to wild, they have a flavor for every Gator fan, available at your local Publix. Check them out at castawaysaucecompany.com. That's going to do it for today's program. Thanks to Coach and JC. We'll see you tomorrow, folks. Take care.